What's going on, believers? This is going to be about meme coins and altcoins. It's just going to be a quick discussion that I want to have with you. So it may not get as many likes, but if you enjoy the content, share it with as many people because this is very, very important. I'm going to talk about a couple of different tokens that I'm invested in, that I'm looking at, and I'm going to tell you that there are things that are happening that are very, very peculiar and they make no sense. But that's the space that we're in. Meme coins, whatever you want to call it. This is not financial advice, but I'm always right. I can't wait till Friday. Everybody's getting sideways. Hey guys, there's a join button down below, $4.99 for a month. I'm going to release a little bit of content. It's going to be private. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. Hopefully I'll get a lot of subscribers, and hopefully it'll be a cool thing. All right, guys, so we don't need charts to talk about this. Here's what we need. If you are familiar in any way with Saitama, then here's something that you know. Back in November, there was supposed to be a Saitama launch, and it didn't happen. And that caused a cascade of 6 zeros, 1698, to fall all the way down to where we are today, which is 7 zeros, 1998, which means we're about 10x from the all-time high for Saitama because everything has fallen. And as of today, we still do not have a Saitama. Now, here's what we do know. Saitama, the people of us, those of us who can use it, have seen it and know that it's actually a very brilliant thing and very functional, very useful, very intuitive. And when it launches, it's actually going to be a massive hit amongst people because of the reduced gas fees and because of all of the good things that come with a wallet like that. It's like MetaMask on steroids, basically. Now, that's an actual product, and most people have that actual product installed on their phone. But in the last 48 hours, what has happened? There's been a stream, and it's probably been over a 2-month period, but there's been a slow burn over to another token. This one's called Shinja. And guess what Shinja has? Nothing. Nothing. I want you to go and I want you to look. Don't take my advice or words for this. Go look at all of the people on YouTube because a lot of us are in Saitama because we like the way it was performing and there's a lot of hype around it. There's a lot of sentiment. As most of you know, I've been covering it since August of this past year, off and on. I gave it daily coverage, but just a little period. I was covering a whole bunch of things at the time. This is more focused, but during the course of all of this, tokens come, tokens go, but Shibnobi came along and it's had a very nice run up to almost $1 billion market cap. And it'll probably get there. It might miss this time because it was pumping and pumping and pumping, but this is profit taking time because it started to slow down. So you can see where the cascade of bear pressure is going to start to come from right about now. And the reason for that, think about this. They don't have anything. You're not playing a game. You're not watching a show. You're not reading a comic book. You're not doing anything with Shibnobi except hype. It is nothing more than hype at this point. Now let's remember, Shibnobi will have a blockchain at some point. It's going to go on to do great things, I believe. But so is Saitama. Also, Starlink. Starlink is probably one of the nicest video games, definitely the nicest graphical video game that I've seen so far in the metaverse. And at one point was about to drop a 0 when the metaverse hype had started, and it was way up there at 4 zeros, 89, I believe it got to, maybe 91 at one point. But now it's back down to 4 zeros and 16. So you can see it's gone all the way down. It has a game that it's working on, but the money in that, it left and went to something else. And it's not things that offer you stuff. So just to understand here, the space that we're in, these are hype coins. The actual functionality of your token in any of this process is almost irrelevant sometimes, and it almost gets overlooked. If you follow me for any length of time, you'll know that I'm big on a thing called Boss Tracker. Boss Tracker looks like Zapper. If you're not familiar with Zapper, I can't help you. But it's like Explorer, something like that, so that you can track everything that's going on. You can cut the dust coins. You can like delete them. So you don't get rid of them out of your wallet, but you just don't see them. But it's a wallet tracker, and it allows you to do a lot of different things, to go to different markets and to make trades. It's really starting to evolve and become something really cool. And the hype on it is at a minimum because they're not pushing it tremendously. But that's an incredible use case. But look around at how many people are still in a bunch of hypes. Now, a few months ago, the mold kind of got broken. And the people that started to really break the mold, it was definitely Shiba in one way, but also Kishu. They started to just come out with use cases because the meme coin verse was starting to die. And the reason it's starting to die is because there's just so much, you only get by so much on hype. In the long term, you need function in order to survive in crypto. There's a lot of hype coins that have come out over the years that just don't do anything. We call them meme coins now, but it's really just everything is based on hype and based on pump. You need to have a token that does something, or if it doesn't do something, then it needs to fund something. And we started off with charity because that was who doesn't like charity? Well, here's the thing. Charity is nice. Charity is a beautiful thing. Charity comes from the heart. But charity is not going to bring you new investors, because if you're going to try to convince an investor, hey, if you give us money and you invest in our hype coin, we're going to give it to somebody. That makes no sense. You need to have something that helps to generate revenue, or you need to have that revenue that you do generate through a marketing wall or something like that matter in terms of giving people something tangible to keep them invested. And that's where gaming became part of it. So the first thing that you saw were these little flapper games where people were just cloning game after game after game. There is another token, and I'm not diming anybody out because I don't know what the future holds for them, but there's a token called Kai, and it was based on a metaverse, and it was going to be a game, and it looked like it potentially could be really good. But they released a game, and all it is Dungeon Runner with a Kai character on top of it. That's not creating, that's not innovating. That's just part of the hype. Some of these tokens are not going to survive because they're not creating value. And I want you to think about the value and the value sentiment of the things that you have that are out here. When you look at a token like Floki, it started off as a hype coin, very quickly evolved into Valhalla, which based on the graphics, and I got to tell you, if you haven't seen the graphics on Valhalla, you're going to love what they are. It's there's even, I kid you not, there's even a caricature of Elon inside Valhalla. You'll find it. At some point you'll find it. I think he's a quest giver. You'll also find Kimball. There's a whole lot of funny little things that you're going to find in Valhalla, but they're going to have a game that they created, not that they copied from somebody else. Same thing with Realm. Realm is, and you may not be, I'm into Realm. I like Realm, but they've got a game that's going on, and it's going to be like a metaverse game. But I like the sharpness and the way that it looks, and I like it a lot more than what I saw in Decentraland and Sandbox. Like I got a feeling that Realm is probably a better name long term, and this is a long game. So at some point they're going to take off. Saitama has Saitamask, but not only Saitamask. They have Saita Edu, they have Saita Maker for NFTs to mint your own NFTs and create your own NFTs inexpensively. Then they have Wolfcaster. Then they have Wolfcaster 1992. Then they have a Wolfcaster movie that's in development. They have a Wolfcaster TV series, anime, that's in development. There's a lot of things going on to create relevance for them. Shinja has a blockchain coming. And when I say, by the way, at the beginning here that Shinja, The money's moving over to Shinja based off of hype. The hype is on the blockchain, but guess what? Blockchain is going to take a year or two to develop and be ready for functional use. You can't live on hype for a year or two. It doesn't work that way. So what I'm saying is there's a lot of hype, there's a lot of sentiment going around, but you need product in order to evolve and get through all of these moments. So I want you to understand, as an investor, you're going to have moments where you're going to throw into a hype coin of some sort and you're going to make a little bit of money off of it. But remember, take your profit and leave your money in for a little while. Let it work for you until you're satisfied with the returns that you get, hedging yourself against the fact that it could all just disappear in one fell swoop when whatever it is that they're hyping doesn't become a reality. But guys, it's a dangerous game that we play. Hype coins are hype coins, and we call it that for a reason. We call them meme coins for a reason. They don't do anything. So find yourself in your investments, find yourself things that do things. And I'm going to take 1 second over here, and I'm just going to point out the place where I think the future is going to be, and I'm not sure that any of these are going to be the ones that we're going to be talking about in the end. But these are the metaverse tokens. You have Decentraland, Axie Infinity, you have the Sandbox. They're all over 3 billion market cap. You have Engine over here, which is NFT based and blockchain technology to allow gaming on it at a $1.5 billion market cap. Then you keep going down here, you're going to find DeFi Kingdoms, Render, Radio Kaka, Mobox, Victoria, Yield Guild Games, Vulcan Forged, UFO Game. You're going to find Starlink down here. You're going to, as you keep going down here, you're going to start to find Star Atlas. Now, Star Atlas, I looked at that one, and much like Starlink, it looks like just a great game. However, I'm not sure that it's based on anything in an existing IP. So if I'm choosing, then I would choose Starlink over Star Atlas because I know what Warp Nexus is. So, and we'll see. But as you go down this list, you will find token after token after token. And you see here, Realm is 1,153 in the rankings with a $9.5 million market cap. But when you go check it out, you're going to find out there's just a lot of really cool stuff. But if you go through here and you look at all these metaverse tokens and you start clicking through them, some of these things are just phenomenal. And when you take some of these guys here and you just throw $100 or $500 at it, one of these things is going to explode. It's going to pop, and you're going to have an actual functioning use case right away through the metaverse. Like, that's how these things play out. And I'm just giving you that as an example. The important thing is you want use, you want functionality in your cryptocurrency. You want it to have a future. Now, in the end, Bitcoin is just a store of value. Ethereum is an actual blockchain and is basically the hub of the internet, or will be at some point in the future, if not passed by Cardano, XRP, Solana, Terra, any one of the other ones that are out there. Avalanche, Shiba Inu. There's going to be a blockchain there at some point. Polygon is a layer 2 solution. So in the end, here's what you should understand, by the way, about these blockchains. I'm going to make this as honest as I can. There's no use beyond Ethereum, Cardano, Solana, Terra, Polkadot. I think I've called 5 out, maybe 6. About 3 of those are going to make it, because that is how this works. And like, please understand, in every business world, in capitalism, people get bought out. So at some point, these other tokens, the people at the top are going to end up buying out some of these up and coming tokens, and they're just going to squash them. Like, that's going to start to happen, and you will start to see it happen. And that's just the way, we're going to add Terra in. That's just the way that it works. So understand you need to be active and pay attention to your investments and make sure that you know what's going on. But also remember that there is not a place in tokens for everybody to have their own blockchain. If everybody has their own blockchain, there's no blockchain. There's just a whole bunch of people. And that's not how the system is or will work. Oh, by the way, if you see this right here, Tether is trading at $1. That means that people are pulling their money out of Tether and putting it into product. So the market's about to start moving upwards. That was not financial advice, by the way. But guys, pay attention to your money. Look at your hype coins. Look at your meme coins. Make informed decisions to the best of your ability and find the gems, the things that have something that are working. And when I said at the beginning, Saitama money was moving over to Shinja, they were doing it based on hype. That doesn't mean that Shinja won't be like the best token that there is. Shibnobi could be, at the end of this all, the king of the memes. Who knows? But the point is, right now, it offers nothing, and everything that's being done, everything that's being moved around, every dollar is being moved around, is being moved on hype and not on actual use case. Guys, this was not financial advice. I'm not telling you what to do, but I am always right. Read the thing down here at the bottom. All right, guys, let's have a good weekend.
I'm looking for the good life, good